31st Wednesday dash community meeting. Looks like we have a couple of new people joining us today. I think we have Yuezhou and Hubble. I was wondering if you guys could say hello real quick and introduce yourselves.
Okay, yeah.
Just
So,
quickly, informally.
let me introduce me and my team.
Okay.
Hello community. I'm Hubble
Oh,
from Alibaba, together with
mm,
Yuezhou. Now, uh, we are in the Switch R&D team in Alibaba. So, thank you very much, Christina, for inviting us to join the Dash project. Inside our team, we are now also doing some analyze work on smart switch, smart applications combined with DPU or IPU. So me and my team are very interested and hoping to learn more about Dash communities solutions and the project status. So also we want to join and do something for Dash.
thank
So
you.
yeah, thanks, Christina.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. So I have something brief I want to cover today. It's more housekeeping, but I think we had Chris. Chris, did you and Mircha want to go first today with your updates?
I'd be happy to just go over a couple of things that are top of mind for me.
Okay.
Merch, I'm not sure if you have anything to present today or not.
Okay.
So let me share my screen and just go over a couple of
Sure.
um, things. Just a rehash from last week. I just sort of want to get approval or not for a couple of pull requests. So last week I mentioned I have a pull request here for um, fixing the build workflow, and I should have shown this summary last week, but these are all the things in this pull request that fix all these uses of sudo and get rid of it, except where it's unavoidable when you're playing with Linux
This is
network devices.
PR202, right? We talked about this one last
Yeah,
week. Okay.
PR202.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. So I don't know if anyone else has had a chance. I know one person tried this. I think Mukesh tried it, and his one comment was, I didn't think of doing make clean before I did this, and left stuff in his environment, which you then need sudo to delete because the new code doesn't use sudo, so it can't delete things that were created by root or other users. So if you do try this, make sure you do a make clean before you run this so that you don't have things in your environment. Or if you do a fresh clone, it'll be fine. So I would like to um, merge this pull request very soon. So maybe a couple more days for people who want to try it at the last minute. That would be great. If not,
Um,
merge it.
yeah, Chris, we went through this earlier this week, this PR, and to try it out in full detail, we'll need some more time. I think so. What we will be able to do is look into this in detail end of this week. So if you give us time till end of this week, we should be able to try this out completely and give some feedback and complete the review.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'd rather do it right than hastily because the blast radius of these kind of changes can be large if something's wrong.
Mhm.
So anyone trying it out, I consider it a big favor. Thanks. So yeah, we can hold off. So thanks, Reshma, for
Thank you.
offering that help. And then um, the other one was I talked about documenting how to use this whole dash repo as a submodule in your own let's say private repos. And I'll just
I
quickly
think there was
go.
a request to put steps of a picture in there or something.
Uh, there's no lack of pictures.
Okay.
um, so I don't know if there were any. outstanding requests. I think I have all these pictures in here, and I think Bud at Excite did try this. I think he tried it out and thought it was, it worked for him. If anyone else wants to try it, maybe try to do things by the end of the week. It's really just a starting point. There's nothing hinging on this at this point. I'm just trying to provide like a roadmap for how you can make more use of the Dash repo in your own, third-party development environments. So if there's any questions or requests for how to make this more useful for you, I'm open, and it can be a work in progress. And once again, if you want to find ways to integrate this into your own environment and you want to work it out one-on-one, I'd be happy to get together with you offline outside of the meetings, and we can play around with this and adapt it to your needs. And then I would want to try to generalize any solutions we come up with for the community so that it benefits everyone. So I'll just leave this PR as is, maybe for the rest of the week, and then maybe towards the end of the week, if there's no feedback or if someone says, hey, give me some more time, that's fine too. But it's really just a document. It doesn't affect any code or any build process at this point. And that's my presentation for today. It's just kind of nudging things along.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Good. And Marian, did I see some PRs come through for you, or Murcha?
No, for me, the same working on my pull request for renaming the APIs. So there is a question for Chris, if you can look at it. I fixed all the auto generation, but there is a build process, some weird failure. If you can look at that, Chris.
Oh, I responded last night.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, let me share. I saw that when I was at the grocery store, and I couldn't wait to get home to help out. So the real failure is in this area here in the test loop. And what happens is there's a failure in building the VNet out test case. I need to go back. Let me go back to the right place. Here's the failure in your build pipeline. Okay.
So which step is it? Just tell me the step name and
Build lib C++ tests. So you can. So that's where the error is. And it should not have let that error go by and fail later. And the reason is the make file is called in here, and I need to go in and make sure. See, here's a for loop that's called in a make file. Even if some of these steps fail, the for loop itself is successful, and so it goes by, and everyone thinks life is fine, and it fails later. I need to put some kind of early exit failure in here. I remembered I did this to myself. I specifically remember 12 years ago I had this same problem. It's come back to haunt me. So I'll work on that, but meanwhile, you now have a place to look for the root cause of the failure. And if you have a fix for this for loop to not catching, since you now have an actual failure case, if you want to check in a fix for that and do an early break out of this loop with an exit of 1 or something, that would be fine too. I'll do a little experiment to see if I can figure out the fix, and maybe you can just add that to your own pull request. But here's your error. So everything look okay, Marian? Can you look into this?
yeah,
then?
yeah. Now it's clear.
Okay.
I thought
right.
maybe so at the first glance it looked like it's kind of something changed in the directory structure. I couldn't even figure out what happened.
Yeah, I had the same thing happen at some point along the way too. Now I realize what's going on. So we'll make it better. I know that Hanav had a problem also when he tried the, I think, let's see, what was that? checked out the latest main, a new fresh clone, and got a failure in one of the VNet tests. And it may have to do with something in the environment that's there in between or migrating to a newer version of PTF or something. Maybe something's in your environment that caused that. I saw that temporarily in my own environment and I never got to the bottom of it, but seems like everything's fine in the pipeline builds when it's always a fresh environment. So I don't have an explanation for you, but have you tried that new branch with the make file permissions fixes?
No, Chris, I have not tried your private branch, but on as you mentioned, on a fresh clone from the tip of the master branch, I did do a fresh clone and I did a make clean before I even did a make all. So I did a make clean, I did a make all, and then I again opened two different consoles and ran thrift servers, and and also ran all the tests, and it failed as I have reported in the issues, is failed in the the packet drop validation test. So I was just trying to get the baseline without any modification at all, just to see that okay, when I start to do any coding, I have a baseline to start with, and then I have not been able to get it done. So no, I have not tried your private branch. I'll try it, but quick question for you. So if you say that if there is something remaining in my environment, do you think that if I have done make clean, should it not actually clean up the entire if there is any remnants of the old environment?
The only thing that would be remaining would be Docker files in your local Docker registry. And it's possible that it shouldn't have happened, but it's possible that there's a version of Docker file in your registry and a different one in Docker Hub. It shouldn't disagree because I tag each unique one. That's the only place that something could remain. So that's a theory. I will try to reproduce what you experienced today and see if the same thing happens. And if nothing else, have an explanation or a remedy, to clean something up. Maybe you need to delete a Docker image and repull it. That might be a simple remedy. That shouldn't have happened, but sometimes we overlook things, especially when we're churning certain things around. So I'll take a look at it later, see if I can come up with a better explanation. Thanks for reporting.
Sure. Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris, for all your help. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, those are the only. Oh, and then just one more update. I did start the process of figuring out how to migrate our Docker image storage from my private Docker Hub or my free Docker Hub account to Azure Container Registry. And I did a preliminary step last night and it was successful. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we can migrate all the Docker image storage to ACR, which Microsoft generously donated for this project. We can store all our images there and they'll be in, a well-known place. So I'm working on that in the background, and it should be transparent to people when the switch is thrown. Knock on wood, as they say. That's just another update.
That's really great. Chris, for the PR202, small update is that Vladimir Mitnick has given some review comments. If you can please look at that.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Christina is not audible to me.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, the picture's frozen also for me.
Better, guys?
Yes. Audio might be better.
I only heard better, guys, and nothing else. So I don't think it's better.
Yeah, Reshma, just I'm looking back at PR202 and I don't see any comments from Vladimir.
It may be that let me find it.
Well, you have to do the final submit. If you do like single line comments, you have to do the final finish review with comments, and otherwise it just stays in your local browser context or session and doesn't actually get published. I've had that happen before.
Right. I thought I was able to see it.
Christina, we're not
Oh,
getting
unless it's 1559. Sorry.
one. Oh, okay. You're talking about on the Psi repo.
Right. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I did see a comment there. Make the example simpler or something like that.
Right. Right.
Sure, I'll take a look at that. Thanks. I can clean it up. Mirta, did you have anything you wanted to present today?
No, I was just saying that I'm still working on the Prince Sunny feedback for the generator before it can be accepted. So it's still work in progress. I need to finish it.
So is my connection any better now, guys?
Now we hear you great.
Oh, sorry about that. I guess it was my side, not yours. Did you see Gohan's comment in the chat window, Chris?
Yeah, I don't understand it. There's no context. What's that referring to?
Gohan, could you explain real quick?
Just for the Makefile arrow, right? So if you want to exit early, then that will do.
Oh,
Any arrow, it will.
oh, great.
Yeah.
I'll try that. Thanks for the tip. Make files are a weird science sometimes.
Thanks, Gohan. Great. And Mercher, we covered you then. You're good?
Yes.
Okay, great. And then anyone else before my one piece of housekeeping? So I'll share my screen. So I have a so my former coworker Michael Miele went ahead and contributed. Can you guys see my screen?
I
Not
don't
yet.
know. I just have a frozen picture of you from 10 minutes ago.
Darn it. Okay. Then I'll talk through it here, I guess. So Michael went ahead and gave us a PR to basically collapse a little bit of the file structure inside of the documentation. So as you go through documentation and maybe you go to the folder like high availability, instead of having, design, then requirements, we're kind of collapsing that layer into one. So to make it a little more similar to Sonic, where it's you don't have quite as many clicks, I guess is what I'm saying. And I kind of wanted to get your guys' feedback, but it looks like my screen's not sharing. So I guess what are you guys' thoughts or ideas on that?
I'm okay with it. We talked about it.
Yeah, and my idea is that anything that makes it look closer to Sonic will look more familiar to others who are Sonic experts, so why not?
Yeah. Can you guys see my screen now? Did it get better?
I don't see.
You don't see? Okay.
Seems like
Must
your
be.
video is broken.
It's not you. It's not you. It's me. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Good one.
So I'll go ahead and it's actually I think better, guys, because it is one less click for each folder, and it's not something we can't revert if we decide we don't like it, but I think it'll make it a little bit easier. So I'll give it a couple of more days and I'll run it past a couple of people. Was there anything else for today then? So we've covered a few PRs, we've covered what I wanted to do, and we've had a couple of introductions. And the Alibaba guys, if you want to stay on while the other people drop, I can talk you through the repo if you like. But was there anything else for today?
Yeah, I would like to actually welcome Alibaba. Alibaba can be a buyer of this technology and also have experience in their own clouds. And so it's always nice to have another cloud in Dash. I'm looking forward to their contributions.
Great. Okay, guys. Well, if there's nothing else and no Q&A, I'll go ahead and stop the recording, and you guys can all drop and have a good day. Now, Alibaba, did you want to stay online and talk, or do you want to cover at a different time? Okay, well, I'll make the offer in email then. I'll just go ahead and email you guys. So you guys have a good day, and thank you for the contributions. I'm going to stop the recording.
Thank you.
And I'll